Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to deep clean this refrigerator and kind of reconfigure it. The freezer looks good. I just did groceries this week and everything was pretty on point on the freezer side, so I'm not going to even touch that area. I haven't cleaned out this refrigerator since I moved into this house, so I'm going to go ahead and just focus on that today because there was a couple of spills on the glass. Yeah, half drank water bottles. I like to do this once a week, especially after doing groceries or before doing groceries, so that I could see what food we could use for leftovers and what could be thrown out, what's been sitting there for too long. That's what I'm going to do today. The kids were chilling and they were hanging out of my way, and so it was like the perfect day to just focus on the refrigerator and make sure that everything was spotless and reconfigured. It did take a little bit of elbow grease. I just washed everything with some dish soap and hot water, and then I set them out to air dry. My son has this little Mr. Cool AC. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's like a little AC unit that's filled up with water. And it was conveniently sitting on my counter today, so I'm going to use that to help aid the process of these glass shelves to dry up. Normally, my family's pretty good about cleaning up after themselves, or if they see a spill, we usually are in the habit of wiping it down, and so it wasn't too bad, but something did definitely spill on both of these shelves, and so it did take just a little bit of scrubbing, nothing that hot water and dish soap can't get. So that is one thing I don't like when I see my refrigerator full of ingredients and like leftovers or like raw foods that haven't been cooked. It's kind of like a pet peeve. I like to have my stuff set apart and put away in their containers, or cooked. That way we could put it in the freezer or in the refrigerator. So this gives me an opportunity to go back and just kind of take inventory of everything that we have and that things that we don't have, so that I don't overbuy when I go to the grocery store. I don't know if anybody else feels the way I do, but I find cleaning to be relaxing. And I don't know what it is, especially with washing. Things that have to do with washing, with water, it's just relaxing for me and I enjoy it. And because it was such a quiet day and the kids were gaming and outside, it was like the perfect time to just kind of be in there in my thoughts, cleaning out my refrigerator and making small notes of what I needed to purchase and what I didn't need to purchase, what I need to go ahead and get rid of quickly and cook. So that is one reason that I really do like to clean out my refrigerator after doing groceries or before doing groceries, depending on my mood, because I get to kind of do an inventory of what's going on and helps me get organized. I do meal plan. I actually found out about meal planning maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. It's basically changed everything for me. I kind of used to buy like meats and bread and stuff like that, and then midweek I didn't have the things that I needed to cook a full meal, and I spent a lot of money on groceries. And then I stumbled upon this mom of 8 on Instagram, I think it was, and she would talk about meal planning, and I'm like, what is that? Anyway, I watched one of her videos about how to meal plan and how it saved her life and how this is how she stays organized. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to try that. And sure enough, it's been like 3 or 4 years where I have been meal planning religiously. And the beautiful thing about meal planning is that if you're not in the mood to eat something that's on your menu, you could just skip to a different day of that week and just make that. It doesn't have to be super rigid. And I do like to buy filler foods. So like pizzas, wings, things like that, like snacky foods. So days that I don't want to cook or I don't want to think about my menu, I could just pop something into the oven and not worry about it. The fridge was not hard to put back on. It is tricky though. It has like these white, there it is, these like white ends with little hooks on them. I've never dealt with that. It does keep everything kind of like a lot more stable and secure, like so the glass doesn't move at all, which is really nice. But it was a little tricky to put them all back in. I haven't figured out how to take the glass out of this specific piece because there was some sort of spillage in between, but I noticed that as soon as I started to just wash it in the sink, everything came right off. So it was easy, and it was just a couple crumbs. It was not gross at all. It was quite easy to clean today. Thank the Lord, because it's been a really tiring week, and the last thing I wanted to do was spend a lot of time cleaning out the refrigerator. You gotta take some time sometimes to organize and get things back in order, especially when you're trying to manage meals for 7 people in a household. So it's kind of what I'm doing right now. I do wipe down all of the containers, especially the bottom parts, just to make sure there's nothing, stuck on the bottom. And I think only the jelly and the milk bottle had like spillage on the bottom, and then like the jelly was kind of sticky, but everything else was pretty on point. Now I'm just going to separate things, figure out what needs to be trashed, what needs to be saved, what could be moved, and just go from there. The shelves were also quite clean. They just kind of had like dry herbs and dry foods on them. It was quite easy to clean and didn't take much time. So that's what I'm doing here. I have to leave one on the bottom just to kind of like guide me, because every time I try to put the fridge back together, I can never figure them out. So I leave one at the bottom just to show me which one, how it goes, and then I could take that one out once I put the other two in. I do love my crisper. It is very deep and it stays pretty clean because I try to keep everything inside its bag. It also makes the fruit and veggies last a little bit longer. I got a ton of cucumbers at the discount place that I buy groceries at. It's like a, I don't know, outlet grocery store, or Overstock. It's an Overstock grocery store. And I got a ton of fruit this time, tons of meats. So I got like 20 cucumbers, I think, or like 10 cucumbers, and I'm gonna put them in these like vacuum sealed bags and just hope that they make it for the rest of the week. We're gonna have a ton of cucumber salad this week apparently, but that's okay. They were like 15 cents each, so I could not pass that deal. And then the deli as well, I found these French cheeses and like cheddar, Swiss, shredded cheese, all kinds of cheeses for like under $4. It was a steal. I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but nothing fit. When I went to go put everything back, like the condiments and stuff, like I had a lot of stuff that didn't fit, and so I kind of had to cram it into one of the shelves, like the sauerkraut and some other stuff like that. I had to kind of put it in there. I do leave a spot empty, that way leftovers, there's like space for them. And then the scraps today, or the food that I had to throw out, was very minimal. I was very pleased with that. I just had some grapes, half a mango, and then some cabbage, like a spot of cabbage. And I did have some old iceberg lettuce, not old, but you know, like it was time to like make it. So I made myself a huge salad and some of the softer tomatoes. Normally my kids like the crispier tomatoes, and my husband as well. So I went ahead and just made myself a salad with some cut up cucumber and some tomatoes. I used a little bit of the onion that was left over as well, and some artichoke hearts. The artichokes are finally at the last of the bit, but I don't have a smaller container. That artichoke hearts thing from Costco is intense. It's so big. You'll see it now in a couple seconds. I did use up my tomato, and I'm gonna probably make some salsa with the other two tomorrow and just use up, because I hate throwing away good food, and just because it's mushy, as long as it's not rotting or nasty, like it should be eaten. I don't know, I just feel that way. And that's something that I do enjoy making when I am cleaning out my fridge, is like making a leftover meal for myself and the kids. I just made myself a massive salad today, and there's my artichoke hearts from Costco. I've got just a couple left, maybe for one more salad, and that would be the end of it. And then I'll have to figure out how to recycle that big old beautiful jar, because it's a really nice sized jar. I might make it into a sugar jar. I'm gonna just mix up my salad. I'm gonna throw in some leftover cabbage from the night before. It was a very fast coleslaw that I made. No carrots or anything like that added to it. It was just like cabbage. And so, since it was seasoned, it would be my dressing for today. I'm going to sit here and enjoy my salad, enjoy my clean fridge, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, It helps my little tiny channel out. And let me know in the comments. What do you do? How do you clean your fridge? And do you do it once a week, once a month? What's your routine?